if we have this quadratic equations, the first important idea for the quadratic equation determines this in a standard form or vertex form. The first important idea, I will ask you about the type for the equation. This equation in
standard form.
Standard form. If this equation is standard form, yani if we write it for you, x squared plus 2x minus 5 in standard form. If we write it x minus 5 squared plus 3. What is the type for this equation in what? In vertex form. We should determine what is the type for the equations. This equation in standard form, this equation in the vertex form. This exercise is very important to determine this type, vertex or standard. Any problem about the first exercise to how to determine the quadratic equations? Okay. Now, if we have the yes.
If it's in standard form, we write A, B, and C.
Yes. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Ax squared plus bx plus c. This is the formula for the standard equations. I want to draw these equations. I will give you in the exam, inshallah, the number for the value of x. You take this number and substitute for the equations and find the answer. Okay? So -4 power of 2 plus 4 multiply -4 plus 4. You can put this part on the calculator and find the answer, but be careful. If we put this number on the calculator and I have negative number, we should open the bracket. If we don't open the bracket, the wrong answer. Okay? We should open the bracket negative. Open the bracket -4 plus the bracket power of 2 plus 4 -4 plus 4. Or 16 minus 16 plus 4 without calculator, the answer will be 4. Okay, so step by step. -3, you can make substitute also by -3 power of 2 plus 4 -3 plus 4 and 9 minus 12 plus 4. Okay, it will be 13 minus 12, it will be the answer 1. Okay, you can use the calculator. What? What? Yes, so -1. Substitution. This is a standard form. Yes, in a standard form, how you can make a graph, the quadratic equation in a standard form. Okay, you can try to make substitution by -2 and make substitution by -1. So the answer 0 and 1 and 4. Be careful if we put the point on the graph. This represents for value of x and this represents for value of y. Be careful, step by step. -4, so -1, -2, -3, -4 on 4. 1, 2, 3. Be careful, I have the vertex in here, it is very important. This represents for the vertex from the graph. Why? Because this value, on this value, I have the 2 numbers repeated. Okay, I have the 2 numbers repeated.
لازم كانت عند الزيرو هذيك ناخذهم عند آخر واحدة.
What?
لا فوق الزيرو كمان آخر واحد عند الزيرو.
4. I have in here 1, 4, and I have another here 1 and 4. So this represents for the vertex. Okay. So the first important point, so we should put it on the graph here vertex on the -2, 0. So this represents for the vertex. Around the vertex, I have the same value. Okay. So -3, I will complete now. -3 and 1. Substitution is Jana. Substitution by -4 to find the value 4. Substitution by -3 to find the value 1. Substitution. You can. Yes, Anna, I solve without calculator. You can solve with calculator. Okay. -1, 1, 0, 4. now this is the vertex. Who's the factor?
Mr. بيكون vertex لازم تكون a bracket x minus h.
Yes, yes. But I now solve by using standard form. Okay, this represents for the vertex.
بس دقيقة عندي شيء.
Okay. Right. Now you can look at the graph. You can determine what is the vertex from the graph. Vertex at the 2 point.
0
2
Negative 2 and 0. It is correct from here? It's correct from here, negative 2 and 0? Yes, so it's represent for the vertex, correct. What is the solution here? Negative 2. Solution or 0 of the function. Solution or 0 of the function represent for negative 2. What about the axis of the symmetry?
negative 2.
Negative 2, x equals negative 2. This represents for the... Yeah, طبعا.
بس هتفرق لو
طبعا. أنا in the exam إن شاء الله this is very important as a standard as a okay.
بس معانا standard. بس معانا standard.
والvertex.
So بس
لا الvertex only.
مش بوكس.
يعني انتوا شايفوا معانا.
هقول لكم بقى أخلص بس هقول لكم.
اوكي. رسمتي شوية مخبوطة بس
عشان without graph paper. It's okay? Okay.
مثلا 2 negative 2 0 ايش ده؟
Negative 2 and 0 is vertex. Solution is negative 2. Axis of the symmetry is
بس
represent
نقدر
for x
كلها
equal
vertex
negative.
بدون الكلام ده كله من بس
It's it, yes. So check your answer, yeah.
مثلا x equal negative 2 شو؟
Axis of the symmetry. Axis of the symmetry. This is very important exercise. The second important information, the second type for this idea about the x minus 1 power of 2 minus 5. What is the type for this equation? Quadratic. In which form?
Not standard form vertex.
Vertex form. So the type for this function is vertex form. It is very important to determine what about the type of the function. Vertex form. Okay? Vertex form. In the vertex form, I will ask you in the exam, inshallah, to find the domain, find range, vertex, and axis of the symmetry. Find the domain. A domain all the time or real number. All number R represent for R or real number. A range we should write it y at the first. Okay? And what about the number in here?
Negative 4.
So write in here negative 5. If the number in here positive, so greater than. What does it mean greater than? Greater than or equal. Look at the y-axis. Look at the little y. Greater than. Okay? It's very easy and very important to look. 3/4 about this only idea. It's very important.
بس لو ال A positive
Greater than. Okay? Again, a domain all the time is 1 or real number. A range y greater than negative 5. And y greater than negative 5. So y, write the y, look at the number in here. What about the number negative 5? We should write it greater than or equal. If I will give you another example, Yajwan, after finish this exercise, I will give you another exercise. What about the vertex? The vertex as the order pair, yes?
نعكس.
The number is Nora. Okay, so it will be 1. So it will be negative 5. Okay, so yes, the same. The last part without a change. Okay, the last part without a change. The part inside the bracket we should change. Okay. Axis. Okay. لازم يكون في bracket عشان دي vertex form. Okay. Axis of the symmetry. اتفقنا ان هناك قلت الاكسس of the symmetry عباره عن ايه يا بنات؟ النمبر اللي في الفيرتكس صح؟
يعني 1.
يعني x equals 1 اللي مش هيكتب x هينقص. axis من اسمها كده axis x equal. ان ما عندكمش كيس another case to y equal يعني. Okay, only this case yes.
الفيرتكس انت كاتبه برا البراكت نيجاتيف.
1 negative 5.
لا هنا برا البراكت. الفيرتكس برا البراكت.
لا this point.
بس الواي انترسبت اللي هو ايه صح؟
I don't need y intercept now. Okay.
بس لما يكون عندنا ايه بي اكس نكتب الواي.
لا I can find the y intercept. I can find the y intercept from this point. But how you can find it? I will tell you now يا جنى. How you can find the y intercept? If we have the vertex, no يا جنى. If we have the vertex, لو أنا عندي الvertex 1 و negative 5. If we take the 1, put in here, you can find the y intercept. But I don't have any at this point now. Okay, I don't have this point now. Okay, only domain, range, vertex, axis of this metric. Okay, if we try to draw this graph, make a table. Okay, تقدروا تعملوا table وmake substitution try to draw the graph.
بس ايش الارقام اللي نحطها في التيبل؟
I will give you the number. Okay, I will give you in the exam the number we should be substituted. Okay. طيب, after graphing يا جنى, look at how you can find the intercept. Okay. After graphing, look at the graph in page 4 في الworksheet. The graph intersect with x with y axis in here as negative 1 and negative 5. Here negative 4. And here negative 1 and negative 5. Okay, so this graph intersect with y axis. In which point يا جنى؟ negative 4.
مس يعني لو كان أول رقم حيكون الإكس أكسس، ثاني رقم حيكون الواي أكسس، صح؟
No, y axis from the graph.
ما يجي من
الواي intercept يعني الجراف intersect with x axis in which point? Y axis. Y intercept y. ملوش علاقة السوليوشن ملوش علاقة بالواي intercept. الواي intercept from the graph الجراف intersect مع الواي axis which point? negative 4. Y equals negative 4. What about the x intercept or the solution? X intercept. It is meaning the solution.
No solution.
Why no solution? If we complete the graph more time, so this is the solution for the graph. Okay, بس أنا في الجزء دوت مش هجيب لك الجراف أو أقول لك السوليوشن غير لما يكون عندك جراف مرسوم already زي اللي إحنا حليناه قبل كده. Okay. Okay. طيب. This is the important item.